Hello, I'm Cassidy Long, and the film that we were assigned was called Up in the Air. The first slide we want to go over is the film description. This basically goes over a man who was being employed by businesses to fire people, and that's all he did. He didn't believe in marriage, having kids, anything like that. He was married to his job. This newly graduate believed that she could somehow change the way his job was ran by interpreting a virtual process of firing people so we could eliminate or they could eliminate such high costs going into flights around the world, having to supply hotels, things of that nature, just to cut down the cost and make it a lot easier. But throughout the movie, he shows that it is important to have that face to face meeting with that person that's going to be fired. The director was Jason Reitman. This was released in 2009, and there were multiple filming locations. Most of them were around the St. Louis, Missouri area, but other scenes took part in the Detroit Metro Airport, in Las Vegas, Dallas, and Miami, Florida. The next slide is another, it goes on with the description. The runtime was an hour and 49 minutes. The rating was a 7.4 out of 10 stars. And then we break it down into the movie cast. We touch base on most important characters in the movie, which was George Clooney playing Ryan, the businessman, the main character, where he goes around and fires people. Anna Kendrick as Natalie, the newly graduate um, lady. Vera Farmiga as Alex Gorin. She's a 34-year-old. She's basically another George Clooney, Ryan Bingham. And then Jason Bateman as Craig Gregory, owner of the Career Transition Counseling. Um, the movie was up for many awards. They were nominated by a few. The ones that they won were for Out of the Competition Audience Award that was presented at the Austin Film Festival. And then they also won Best Picture and Best Film. The next slide we're going to go over is which environmental force relates most. I chose globalization and the ethics of and corporate governance. This is because globalization is constantly changing, constantly making ways for new things to make other techniques easier and faster and more efficient. Just as in the movie, the girl playing the new intern, Natalie, wanted to eliminate costs by firing people virtually. But the main person, the businessman, he wanted to have that face to face interaction with the employees that were being fired. This is because there's always a right and a wrong way to doing things. That falls under the ethics and corporate governance. Thank you.
My name is Jamar Davis, and I will be analyzing three characters about the Big Five personality framework. The Big Five personality framework is a set of fundamental traits that are especially relevant to organizations. Experts agree that more positive people in an organizational setting have personality traits that are high in agreeableness, high in conscientiousness, less neurotic, and more openness and are extroverts. These people are ideal for employers. The first person that I will be analyzing is Ryan Bingham. Ryan Bingham is the main character in this movie. His personality traits start with agreeableness. Agreeableness is high because the character had to fire multiple people every day. He had to be gentle, cooperative, and understanding. Conscientiousness is high because of all the traveling. The character has to stay organized, responsible, and detail oriented. His neuroticism is low because the character was very emotionally closed in most of the movie. He lacked emotions or showing them. Extroversion is high as well because even though the character did not want a relationship at first, he was still talkative and social throughout the movie. Openness was low. Almost the entire movie was spent showing another character why he didn't want change and that his idea or way of doing his job was the best way for the company. The next character analyzed is Alex Gorin. Alex Gorin's agreeableness is high because to be a flight attendant, you have to be good with others and very understanding. Her conscientiousness is high due to being a flight attendant. She has to play a huge role in being counted upon by the entire plane. Neuroticism is low because there weren't very many times where the character was moody or angry throughout the movie. Extroversion is high because she is always smiling and seemed very social at several scenes in the movie. Her openness was low because in the movie she didn't change her attitude towards Ryan or their relationship. The final character that I will be analyzing is Natalie Keener. Natalie Keener's agreeableness is high because at many points in the movie, Natalie Keener exemplified that she was very understanding and cooperative with people. Her conscientiousness is high because her job in the movie was to design a software to use for the entire company. She was greatly counted upon to do this, and she did achieve the job. Neuroticism was very high for this character. Her emotions were everywhere, and she was very moody and insecure. Extroversion was high as well because due to her job, she had to give presentations which required comfort being social. Her openness in the movie was high as well. She was open to new ideas and wanted others to be as well. She introduced a virtual way of firing people to make the company's employees' jobs easier.
My name is Demi, and I'll be talking about the leadership style theory of the movie Up in the Air. Brian Bingham is a man who goes from company to company all around the world, firing people because the company and the corporations don't want to do the dirty work. He loves his job and he enjoys what he does. Natalie Keener has a new way of wanting to fire people. Her idea is to use live webcam, like Skype for instance, to talk to people all around the world and fire them instead of having to travel to their state and to their company to sit down with them. Brian does love his job and he loves traveling. He does not approve of Natalie's proposal and he wants to show her what it's like to do his job and why it is important to go to these companies and fire people face to face. I would define Ryan's leadership as low least preferred theory. Leaders are more concerned with tasks relevant to problems, similar to job-centered intending structure. I think this best suits him because he is straight to the point and he doesn't want to take anything away from what he loves and what it means to fire someone because it is hurting someone. It is personally going to hurt someone, their financial life, their personal life at home. It's very important. So he does take that into consideration. But he's also, just does his job straight to the point and does not take away from it. Good. I would score Ryan as authority compliance because he's very great at being concerned for the production, but one because he's so desensitized to firing people and watching them cry and be upset, that concern for the people would bring him out of one, which is actually something good for his job because that's what you need that strong backbone and that poker face that says you're fired and I'm here to apologize on behalf of your company, but there is something better for you that's going to go on. What authority compliance defined is efficiency in the operations results from arranging conditions of work in such a way that human elements interfere to a minimum degree. Traits that make Ryan a leader: his emotional intelligence, he's driven. He has motivation, honesty, integrity, self-confidence, cognitive ability, knowledge of the business, passionate, and judgment. He seems to be doing this for a very long time. So of course he knows already how to, manipulate people to believe that it's best for them to leave the company. He does have a lot of, understanding in psychology. He's driven, he loves his job, so that makes him motivated. And, the company's been very good to him, so that's why he has a lot of integrity and honesty. You can tell he's a very confident man. He's great with women, so that makes him, great at confronting people in general. He is passionate and he does have, harsh judgment, but that's why he works there and that's why he's great at his job. An old paradigm leader is someone who's stabilizer, controller, competitor, diversity avoider, and a hero. He's someone who definitely does not like something different. He just wants it to keep the way it is. He's competitive and it's stabilized, and that's just the way he wants it, which is not a bad thing, but also, since our technology is changing all the time and companies are looking for something more efficient, that's where it does become negative on his part. Natalie is his follower because she is following him and he's trying to guide her and show her, why it is to be the best. She has a lot of energy, intelligence, desire to lead. She came and she was strong-minded with this presentation and she said, this is what I want to do. This is going to change the world. A super creative presentation. She wowed her boss. She does have self-confidence, honesty, and integrity, of course. The new paradigm leader, someone who wants to change, she wants change, she wants collaboration, diversity, and she's also very humble. She does have a lot of experience and, education, and she's a little young link, so Ryan doesn't think she knows any better, but she seems that she knows what she wants for the company. And that's my presentation on leadership. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Misael Garcia, and I'm going to be presenting the 3 movie scenes that I thought were important and why they were important. So this is the first one.
You wanted to see me?
Well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, come on in. Come on in. Great job.
Thank you. How's everyone taking it?
Great. Listen, I admire your zeal, and I think you have some very good ideas, but you know nothing about the realities of my industry. You can set up an iChat, but you don't know how people think.
Actually, I'm minored in psychology.
Nice. Okay, kiddo, fire me.
Ryan,
Oh, listen, she's gonna be doing this on a regular basis. Don't you want to know if she can fire somebody?
just fired Ned.
My dog can fire Ned. Fire me.
You don't need to do this.
No, it's okay. I got this. Mr. Bingham, I regret to inform you that your position at this company is no longer available.
Who the hell are you?
My name is Miss Keener. I'm here today to discuss your future.
My future? The only one who could fire me is Craig Gregory.
Mr. Gregory hired me to handle this for him.
Handle what? Handle me? Mr. Gregory hired me. He's the only one who could fire me. You know what? I'm going to go talk to him.
Mr. Bingham.
No. You can't follow me. You're on a computer screen, remember?
Ryan.
All right, let's try this again. Fire me again.
I just did.
Actually, you didn't. Fire me.
That's enough. I think we get it.
Mr. Bingham,
Yeah?
I'm here today to inform you that your position is no longer available.
I'm fired.
Yes, you're fired.
Never say fired.
You've been let go.
Why?
This is a mythical situation. How could I possibly know why?
Why doesn't matter. You never know why.
It's important not to focus on the why and rather to spend your energy thinking about your future.
Well, I'm going to spend my energy on suing you unless you give me a good reason why you're firing me.
Mr. Bingham, the reason's not important.
So you're firing me without grounds. Now I really have a lawsuit.
I get what you're trying to say, Ryan.
Don't take this personally, Mr. Bingham.
Personally, this is the most personal situation that you are ever going to enter. So before you try to revolutionize my business, I'd like to know that you actually know my business.
So that was the first movie scene that I thought was important for the movie, and this is the reason why. In this scene, Ryan Bingham asked Natalie Keener to fire him to prove that firing people over a computer screen is not going to work. This helps us understand where Ryan stands in this proposal and why he wants to keep the traditional way of firing people, which is face to face. Next, we will move on to the second scene that I thought was important.
Make about 90 grand a year now. Unemployment is what, 250 bucks a I'm not gonna be able to pay my mortgage on my house, so maybe we can move into a nice fucking one-bedroom apartment somewhere. And I guess without benefits, I'll be able to hold my daughter as she, suffers from her asthma that I won't be able to afford the medication for.
Well, tests have shown that children under moderate trauma have a tendency to apply themselves academically as a method of coping.
Go fuck yourself. That's what my kids think.
Children's admiration is important to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doubt they ever admired you.
Hey, asshole, aren't you supposed to be consoling me?
I'm not a shrink. I'm a wake-up call. You know why kids love athletes?
Oh, because they screw lingerie models.
That's why we love athletes. Kids love athletes because they follow their dreams.
Well, I can't dunk.
You can cook.
What are you talking about?
Your resume says that you minored in French culinary arts. Most students that were going to fire at KFC, but you bus tables at Yale to support yourself. You get out of college, and you come and work here. How much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams?
27 grand a year.
And when were you going to stop and come back and do what makes you happy? I see guys who work at the same company for their entire lives, guys exactly like me. Clock in, they clock out, they never have a moment. You have an opportunity. This is a rebirth. Not for you, do it for your children.
So that second scene was actually my personal favorite scene from the movie. In uh, this scene shows Ryan firing a man named J.K. Simmons, but he tells him not to look at this as him getting fired, but that instead look at this as a rebirth. Instead of following the script or just telling Simmons that he is no longer employed, Ryan went out of his way to look at the man's resume and find out something that not a lot of people knew about him, which made the firing process smoother and not so harsh on the man. This scene also reminds the viewer that it is important to follow your dreams and not settle for just any job. Now we will move on to scene number 3.
What is the point?
Point.
I mean, what am I starting here?
It's marriage. It's beautiful things on earth. It's what people aspire to.
We're not married.
It's true. Never even tried. Try.
Just, you seem happier than all my married friends.
Jim, marriage can be and you're kind of right. This all is just stuff that leads to eventual demise. And we're all on running clocks, and they can't be slowed down or paused, and we all end up in the same place. There's no point.
There is no point. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not normally that. Your favorite moments, most important moments in your life. Were you alone?
No, I guess not.
Think of it. Last night, the night before your wedding, all this shit is swirling around in your head. Did you guys sleep in separate bedrooms?
Yeah, Julie went back to the apartment. I was just by myself in the honeymoon suite.
Kind of lonely, huh?
It's pretty lonely.
Better with company. He's a co-pilot.
So, mood like out there? What should I do? Go get it.
So in this scene, Ryan's sister's groom is having doubts about getting married. Ryan is called in to try and help with the situation, while he's explaining to the groom why it is important to have a partner and how life is better with a special person as your co-pilot. He also starts to examine and to reflect on his own life. So those were 3 scenes that I thought were important in the movie and why I thought they were important. Thank you.